Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of our Islanders GM mode in NHL 17. So quick recap of last episode, we basically just went over the main roster as well as our AHL's roster and our unsigned players. Also, we looked at the preset lines, which I have edited, and also made some players different, like better overalls. Well, not better overalls, but different potentials. So based on mostly on the suggestion by Jester1369, and he says Brock Nelson and Ryan Strome are natural centers. Chimera is a left wing, Cizikas is a fourth line center, is still the fourth line center, and Parenteau was brought in specifically to play right wing next to Tavares, which I actually didn't know. Lee Nelson Strome was a line for most of last season. Boychuk is a right D, and Hickey is a left D. Calvin DeHaan should be a medium, not a low. He's better than Hickey right now with room to grow. So thank you for the suggestion, Gesture. So I went ahead and put Andrew Ladd, Tavares, and Parenteau on the right wing. I didn't even realize Parenteau was a right winger until that as well, because he was originally put on the left side. So I thought he was a left winger, but turns out he's a right winger. So we have him with Tavares and Ladd, even though Parenteau is listed as a third line scorer. I think he's had good chemistry in the past with John Tavares when he was with the Islanders back in like 2011-12, I believe. And then on our second line we have Lee, Strome, and Nelson. The reason I put Strome in the middle is because Strome's got better faceoffs. As you can see, his faceoffs are 76. Nelson's are 74, and then Anders Lee his are 70. So if one of them to go down with injury, then they could replace each other, that sort of thing. And then third line we got Kuhlman, Grabowski, and Bailey. Yeah, pretty much self-explanatory. Then we have Chimera, Cizikas, and Clutterbuck, so kind of like a gritty fourth line. On defense, I put Leddy and Hamonic, like I said I was going to. I also moved DeHaan up to the second defensive pairing with Johnny Boychuk instead, because Hickey's probably has reached his highest overall he could probably get. So I put DeHaan up there instead, so DeHaan grows better, because he's an offensive defenseman and he gets to play with a defensive defenseman and Johnny Boychuk. So there's that. And then we have also Ryan Pulock, who's going to be playing on our team this year. I decided not to sign Dennis Seidenberg because Seidenberg, well, he's old and he wants a lot of money. I don't really want to just give up $3 million to him, so we aren't going to sign Seidenberg like real life. Special teams, it's just pretty much the same sort of stuff. So Ladd, Tavares, Nelson, Leddy and Hamonic, Lee, Cizikas, and Strome, and then Boychuk and DeHaan. And then four-man, Ladd, Tavares, pretty much the exact same thing, except for I put Grabowski here instead of Cizikas, because Cizikas doesn't have as good of puck skills and shooting categories, I think, as Grabowski. So, and then penalty kill, we put Cizikas with Bailey, Chimera with Clutterbuck, because those guys are all good penalty killers. And same with the three-man PK. And then 4-on-4 pretty much looks the same as the power play. Then 3-on-3 for overtime, Tavares, Hamonic, Boychuk, all offensive pretty much, well, all high overall players. Then second we have Grabowski, Leddy, and Hickey. I might actually, yeah, let's just switch this, put DeHaan up there. And then we have Hickey with Pulock, and then here was Cizikas. So yeah, that's good. Extra attackers, John Tavares and Johnny Boychuk, and shootout we have Tavares, Leddy, Strome, Ladd, and Parenteau. And then our goalies obviously is Yaroslav Halak and Thomas Greiss. So that's that. And then the AHL, I just basically did what I was telling you guys with putting Michael Dalcoli on the first line with Josh Hosang, just to get the two of those guys going. So thanks again, Jester, for the suggestion. Taken care of. Let's start the simulation for the preseason and see how the preseason is and who does what for us, and see if we need to make any line changes before the start of the season. And then we'll do 1 month at a time for regular season and see how our players are doing for the regular season, and that sort of thing, and then make line changes, that sort of thing. Check around the league, see if there's been any like signings and trades, because I think usually Ottawa makes a trade within the first month of the season, usually for a veteran. Like on one of my GM modes, they traded for Henrik Zetterberg, so we'll see how that works. So let's go sim up this preseason. So we have pretty much every team in the Metropolitan Division to go up against. So let's quick sim these all, see how we do. So game in New Jersey, oh yeah, we have to send out the scout. So OHL, we're gonna send out the scout for 1 month, and then we'll go to the WHL for a month, and then probably to the QMJHL for a month, and then after that we'll go back to the OHL for defense, and so on like that. So we're doing really well in these preseasons so far, which is not necessarily the best, but because I think usually when you do good during the preseason, you don't have a really good season. At least that's what I find. So preseason we went 5-2-0. We won in overtime against the New Jersey Devils. We won 8-2 over the Columbus Blue Jackets, 7-2 over the Rangers. So our offense seems to be playing really well, and we're playing pretty good defensively. 2-1 loss against the Washington Capitals. 2-1 shootout win over Carolina. 2-1 loss to the Flyers, and a 4-0 shutout win to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So pretty good preseason. Let's just check our player stats, see if there's any lines that have bad plus minus to make any line changes. So John Tavares, wow, what a preseason. 13 points in 7 games. So he put up almost a goal a game and an assist a game. So he's like 2 points per game pretty much. So really good. And then Andrew Ladd 8 points, Nelson 6 points, Parenteau 6 points, Leddy 6 points, Chimera 4, Strome 4, Zigas 3, Hamonic 3, so on like that. So let's see, plus minus, is there anybody who's negative? So Tavares' line all plus like 10 pretty much. And then the defensive core seems to be pretty good in pluses as well, which is great. And our bottom 6 as well, nobody was a minus. Ryan Strome wasn't even 0, but everybody else was plus, so very good with that. Hopefully it continues on to the regular season. Goaltending wise, Yaroslav Halak played all the games, and he had a really good record, 5-2-0 with a 1.55 goals against average. He only allowed in 11 goals in 7 games, 942 save percentage, 1 shutout. Wow, hopefully he has a good season as well. So there's that. So yeah, now I guess we could get on to the regular season. I don't think I want to make any line changes just yet. Also, I turned down the injuries, guys, to 10 out of 100 because like injuries seem once one happens, another one happens, and they keep on occurring. So I'd rather have the injuries down as low as we can, with them still happening once in a blue moon. So, and we have some morale meetings. So Shane Prince has morale. There are times I do not want to walk into that locker room. His best locker room chemistry is Anders Lee. Low locker room chemistry is Johnny Boychuk. I don't know if he likes calming or demanding. A lot of them like demanding, but I don't want to demand him and make him lose morale. I'll go motivating. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so also I forgot to mention that I have 3 scratch players on the team. I'll show you those in a second. So Shane Prince is one of the scratch players though, just because I don't really want to send him down to the minors because I think he goes through waivers. So yeah, we have Shane Prince as one of our scratches, and then we also have Steven Giunta, who is on a professional tryout, like I was saying before. So those 2, and then we have JF Ruby, who's a low backup now. So he's basically our depth goalie if like Grice or Halak goes down with an injury. So there's that, and yeah. Okay, so let's get this season simulation started. But actually I should hold the team meeting since that's available first. Our first game of the season is against our rivals, the New York Rangers, so kind of a intimidating team in the Rangers. Okay, let's see, 1 of 82 games, enjoy the butterflies, and feed off the crowd, but we've trained all for the offense, and I know we could win, focus on the system, and get the job done. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, let's go with motivating. I'm pretty even. But John Tavares lost morale on Hamannik, so some of our big guys didn't like that, which is not that good, but whatever. It's only the first game of the season. Okay, so let's sim up to the 22nd, just do a few games at a time. Just make sure no injuries and stuff are occurring. So shootout loss against the Rangers, so at least we got a point there. And wow, what a way to start the season. Kuhlman's been injured with a sore knee until October 28th. Okay, that's not the biggest problem because we could just put Shane Prince in his spot, because I think Prince would be a better fit on the third line than Chimera. So we'll put Prince there just as a replacement since Prince has probably better shooting. Yeah, he has better or the same shooting, and actually he's not as good, but still we'll put Shane Prince in there just because Shane Prince is a more third line player. And look at that, 2 wins in a row. 3-2 win against the Caps and a huge 7-1 win over the Ducks. A 4-2 loss against the Sharks and a 3-1 win over Arizona. So to start our season, we're 3-1-1 in our first 5, which is really good. So we've got a possible we got 7 points out of a possible 10 points. So we're doing pretty decent so far. 3 more games I'll simulate. Minnesota, Montreal, and Pittsburgh, and Chimera's been injured with a sprained ankle. November 12th already, holy crap. So these injuries seem to be hitting us already. I might have to turn them down even more. Kuhlman is also back though from injury, which is good. So we'll put Kuhlman there. You know what, actually we'll just put Kuhlman there. Put Prince down to the 4th line. Prince is now an 80, but it could be because of morale, because of ice time. And then we have to send out our scout again. So let's go to the WHL for forwards for a month. And Nikolai Kuhlman is back. Yeah, we know because we just put him in. We lose in overtime against the Wild. Shootout loss to Montreal and a 3-1 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we're 4-1-3. So we have a lot more overtime losses than we do regulation, which is good because at least in overtime and shootout losses we get points. So, and our last game of this month of October is against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wonder how they're doing with Austin Matthews. And we lose 5-1, so they might be a good team. Yeah, 3-6-0, so they just got lucky, I guess. Okay, so 4-2-3 after our first month of simulation. Let's just go around the league and see if there's been any signings or trades. So let's start with signings. So any big signings? Carl Koliakova with Vancouver. The rest of the guys are just young guys. Nobody I really heard of. Player and pick trading. Yep, but that happens in every single GM mode I've played. I don't know if you guys had the same problem, but Ottawa trades for Henrik Zetterberg and they give up a first round pick and McCoy cramps. It seems like every single franchise mode I've done so far, they've done that. And then like sometimes they also trade for Nicholas Kronwall and they give up like Thomas Chabot. So if you guys have that same problem, let me know. I think EA Sports just has like some sort of a glitch where that always seems to happen, where they always trade for the exact same players. Hopefully they fix it for next year or for a later update. Let's go around and check who's getting points for us and then around the league as well. So in our first 10 games, was this, or 9 games? In our first 9 games, John Tavares has 10 points and he's got 8 goals already, so he's almost a goal per game, which is very nice. We also have Andrew Ladd, who's a point per game currently. Sezikis on the 4th line has 8 points in 9 games. Wow. Might have to bring him up a few lines, even though he's actually a 4th liner. And then Clutterbuck has 7 points, and Brock Nelson has 7 points. How the hell does Cal Clutterbuck have 7 points in 9 games? That's pretty crazy. We also have Parenteau, who has 6 points, Letty 6 points, Lee 4 points, Chimera and Strome 4 points, Bailey, Boychuk, and Hamonic, or well, not Hamonic, Bailey and Boychuk 3 points. Hamonic's only got 2 points. That's not very good on the top defensive pairing. And then Prince has 1 goal in 7 games. Hickey's got 1 assist, and Pulak's got no points. DeHaan actually has no points. Kuhlman and Grabowski have no points. Let's just check the plus minus. So everybody seems to be pluses except for DeHaan, Bailey, Prince, Kuhlman, and Grabowski. So our 3rd and 4th line don't seem to, or well, mostly our 3rd line actually. Yeah, it's our 3rd line that has most of the negatives, which is not good. How's our goaltending doing so far this season? So Grace has also played 1 game. Grace lost 1 game in the shootout 2-1 final. 941 save percentage, 1.85 goals against. That will probably change a lot once he starts playing more. And then Yaroslav Halak, 2.47 goals against average, and 918 save percentage, which is pretty respectable for his first 8. Now let's go around the league and check who's leading in points and goals and all that sort of stuff. And then we'll also check the rookie skaters, and then we'll go back and sim another month. Check if there's signings, that sort of thing. So Patrick Kane's leading the league in points with 15 and 9. Then there's Artemi Panarin 14 and 9. Henrik and Daniel Sedin 13 and 9. And Duncan Keith even has 12 and 9. So it looks like the Blackhawks and the Canucks are doing good. Let's see who's leading in goals currently. John Tavares is leading in goals with Louis Eriksson, and then Philip Forsberg, Patrick Kane, and Ovechkin right behind them. Let's check goalies stuff now. Let's see if there's any, which goalies are playing good so far in their first, like, pretty much 10 games. So looks like Rask and Craig Anderson are playing really well, especially Rask. Rask is 6-1 and 6-1-0 with a 1.75 goals against average and a 937 save percentage, so he's playing really well, but it'll probably drop as the season goes. Rookie skaters, let's see if Matthews is leading. Yep, he is. So Austin Matthews got 6 points in 9 games. Nick Paul's got 5 points in 8 games. Hartman's got 5 points in 9 games, and Laine's got 4 points in 9 games, and then so on like that. So the rookies aren't getting much points, they're not getting points per game, but eventually you'll see Matthews grow up to like an 89, 90 something and put up a lot more than that. So that's the rookie skaters. Now let's just check how our power play and stuff is doing. Not around the entire league, but let's just see. So for goals against average, or goals against per game, we're one of the best defensive teams in our division currently. Also power play wise, we're one of the worst power plays in our division. We're kind of like in the middle. Penalty kill, we're the worst in our division, so we might need to change the penalty kill a bit. But it'll probably change over the season. In our last 10, 4, 2, and 3. Okay. So there's that. Now let's simulate another month, and then we'll go check more signings and see if there's been any more trades. And then do the same thing again. All the way until, I think we'll do up till the trade deadline, or do up till January 21st, or not January 21st, January 1st, to see if there's been any, well, we'll just do up to January 1st or something, just so we could see what's available comes to trade deadline and that sort of thing. So that will be probably next episode, is the trade deadline. And then also, the episode after that will be probably simulating the rest of the season, and then the next one would probably be like the playoffs and that sort of thing. So Jason Chimera's back from injury. That's good. Sorry, Shane Prince, we're gonna have to scratch you, buddy. Wait, let's actually, yeah, we'll put Chimera in everywhere where Shane Prince was, even though that was Coleman's spot. Right, let's think. Yeah, but whatever. Okay, that's good. So to start off the month, we have a 9-2 loss against Tampa, 7-3 win over the Flyers, 3-1 loss to Edmonton Oilers, a 4-3 win against the Canucks, 5-0 loss to Tampa. So we're kind of winning one, losing one, and oh, that's a big injury for like over a month. So Nick Leddy's been injured with a concussion. Estimated return is December 18th. That's not good at all, because Nick Leddy's one of our better defensemen. So I don't know, should I put Johnny Boychuk up to the first defensive pairing, just because we don't have actually any other defenders. So yeah, let's put Boychuk back up to the first line. Even though they're both right-handed, it's just better overall wise. We'll put Hickey up to here. And on the third defensive pairing, we don't actually have any depth defenders because Pellick is actually in the minors. So who has better defensive kind of stats? Gianta or Prince? They both have 3-star defense. Anybody have better physical? Prince does. Senses 4 stars. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Shane Prince. Or wait, actually, yeah, I think I'll go with Shane Prince. Just check. Defensive awareness 82, so he's got pretty good defensive awareness. But Gianta's got 83, so I'm actually gonna put in Steven Gianta for depth defense, and then I'll put in Prince for depth offense. And if both of them get injured somehow, and we have no more depth players, then I'll have to call up somebody. So in the shootout, we'll not. Oh yeah, actually, we'll just put Gianta as well, just because that's where Nick Leddy was positioned. So there, Gianta into the shootout, even though he's not a really good player. So 4-1 win over Florida. So we're 7-5-3 in our first 15. So at least we have a winning record, but not a lot of, well, there's still a lot of regulation losses. There's another win over Tampa Bay, and another win over Pittsburgh. Wow, so we've only allowed in 3 goals in our last 3 games. We've only allowed that much, which means we're playing really good defensively, which is kind of odd considering Nick Leddy's out with an injury, and he's one of our best defensemen. Edit skating assignment. So now we're gonna go to the QMJHL for an entire month, and then we'll do defense in the OHL, defense in W, defense in the Q, and then we'll do goalies and all those, and then we'll go to other places like in Europe and stuff. So there's a loss against the Ducks, a win over LA, a shootout win over the Sharks in our last 2 games of this month are against Calgary and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So 5-2 loss over against the Flames, and a 4-2 loss to Pittsburgh. So after 2 months, we're 11-8-3. So basically 11-11. We're currently in the playoff spots, or well, in one of the playoff spots. And let's just check our points and stuff like that, and then we'll check the signings and stuff. So John Tavares is still over a point a game, 23 points in 22 games. Andrew Ladd's got 20 points in 22 games. Nelson points 22 games. Suzuki 16, Lee 14, Parento 14. Strom's got only 13, but he'll probably get better as the years go on. Kyle Clutterbuck's got 11 and 22. Bailey's got 11. Nicoletti's got 9. Kuhlman's got 7. Boychuk 7. So it looks like our defensemen aren't putting up much points. Hamanek's up to 5 points now, but that's still not very good for an 88 overall defenseman. I know he's a defensive defenseman, but still. So let's see the plus minus. Just check and see if. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like our second and third line, and not fourth line. Yeah, our second and third line has bad plus minus, but like our first line and our fourth line have good plus minus. So we might need to change around our second and third line. Let me know what you guys think, if we could change some of those lines up a bit, what you guys would do, that sort of thing. Let's check the goalies. So in first 21 games, Hawks got a 2.89 goals against average, which is not very good. He's got a 903 save percentage, so Hawk isn't playing the best. Hopefully it gets better as the season goes on. And then Thomas Greiss, 5 games played, 2.81 goals against average, and he's 0-1-1 because I guess Halak had to come in and replace him. He's got a 910 save percentage. Okay, so that's that. We'll check the league afterwards. Now we'll check the signings and that sort of thing. So, activity feed. So let's just check if there's been any more trades. No, there hasn't. Any signings? Yeah, there's been more signings. So Ryan Sproul, he signed with the Flames, and then that's it pretty much. The rest are just some youngsters. And any waiver claims, let's just check those. Nope. Okay, so now let's just check the league for who's got points around the league, and then we'll check the standings, that sort of thing. So we already checked our team. But it looks like Tavares could be like a like trophy winner this year. Like I forget what the trophy is called though for the most points for a player in the season, but he could potentially get that. Unless Patrick Kane is playing really, really well still. Which he is. Patrick Kane has 36 points in 24 games. And in the Breadman, Artemi Panarin has 29 points in 24 games. So obviously those two are on the same line. And then you got Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin. So that line must be on the same line as well, 27 points apiece. Keith and Taves both also have 27 points. So it looks like they have Taves, Kane, Panarin on the first line. Duncan Keith on their first defensive pairing, so looks like the Hawks are going to be a good team again this year. Probably a President's Trophy if they're playing well. I don't know if their team is playing well. I know their players are. But then there's also Steven Stamkos, Daniel Sedin, Claude Giroux, my boy Cam Atkinson. He's my favorite player. If you guys didn't know. Yuri Hudler, who was a free agent signing actually by Dallas. Johnny Gaudreau, Jacob Voracek, Matt Duchene. So looks like Tavares might have dropped off in the point category. Yeah, he's all the way down here, tied with Sidney Crosby, who's only put up 9 goals. Wow, that's weird. Crosby, 9 goals in 23 games. I doubt that'll happen in real life. Let's check rookie skaters. So Austin Matthews, up to 15 points in 23 games, followed by Patrick Laine with 14 points in 25 games, and Mark McNeil with 12 points, Rantanen with 10 points. Everybody else is single digits. Okay, so that's that. Let's check the standings. See where everybody sits currently and how our power play and everything is doing around the league. So entire league, we are currently seated at number 13, which is around the middle, so kind of decent. Goals for per game. We're not even in the first half, it doesn't look like. Wait a second. I could have missed this. Yeah, I think I missed this. Yeah, oh yeah, we're right here. So we're like 10th or 11th in goals for, so we're scoring a lot. But it looks like we're also conceding a lot of goals. Goals against per game average. Yeah, we're one of the worst. We're in like the top 10 for most goals against, which means we need to step up our defense a lot. Power play percentage is one of the worst as well, so our offense on the power play isn't good, but we're good on 5-on-5 it seems like for scoring goals. And penalty kill is the worst in the league, so our special teams need to improve and our defense needs to improve, so that's one thing we need to change up probably in the next episode. So let me know what you guys want me to do with those lines. And if nobody comments, again, like I said, I only have 10 subscribers, so let's see. Okay, yeah, I guess that's all we wanted to do for that. So let's just check the time on the video. How long is this so far? 29 minutes. So yeah, we'll just do one more month of simulation and then check those stats out again, and then we'll call this an episode. So first game in the month is against the Caps, and we lose 3-2. That's 3 losses in a row, where we've only scored 2 goals. Game up against Detroit, 5-4 win. Okay, that's good. Divisional, no, not a divisional opponent. 5-3 loss against Rangers. So we're losing to Metro Division teams, which is not good. Shootout loss to St. Louis. A 3-1 win over the Blue Jackets in a game against the Caps. A shutout, 3-0 win. And Nick Leddy is back from injury. That's good. Good news. That means we're pretty much back at full health. Get rid of Steven Giunta. He might have been the problem and why we've been allowing a lot of goals. So yeah, Nick Leddy will get you back up to defensive pairing 1. Put Boychuk back here, and put Hickey there, and put DeHaan there. Okay, so against Chicago, and 5-1 loss. And a 2-1 loss. Now it seems like we're playing bad, even though we got Nick Leddy back, which is kind of weird. Well, that is scouting assignment. OHL defenseman for a month. Another loss. Wow, this is rough for 14 and 4, so we're not doing good at all. So we're probably gonna have to make some moves at the deadline. And Shane Prince is complaining about his ice time. That's not good at all. He liked motivating last time. Let's see. Yep, he likes it pretty good. So we might want to put Shane Prince in the lineup instead of someone. If we could trade like Jason Chimera or something, we could put in Shane Prince into our lineup. That way his ice time's not affected, even though he's listed as a minor scoring forward, I believe. So rough start end to this month, it looks like, and rough start to the month actually as well. And let's just get this last game against the Winnipeg Jets simulated as well. So up at January 1st, we're 17, 15, and 4. So a lot of regulation losses. Don't really like that. We're currently 2 points back still of a playoff spot, so we'll still have a chance, which is nice. But we're way far behind like people like Pittsburgh and the Devils. But after that, the Rangers are even able. We'll be able to even catch up to the Rangers, the Caps, and the Flyers. So if we have a better second half, then we could be playoff bound come April. So anyways, the points in our team, we have John Tavares, who's got 43 and 36, Ladd 35 and 36, Nelson 30 and 36, and then everybody else is a little bit lower. So Parenteau 25, Lee 22, Strom's gone up to 21, so Strome had a better month, it looks like, than anybody else. And Tazika still has 21. Everybody else is like 16 and below. Plus minus wise, let's just see if we're... Yeah, it's still our bottom 6, it looks like. Yeah, it's still our bottom 6. That's... Or, well, not our bottom 6. They're like... It's, our second and third lines that don't seem to be doing very well, so we might need to change up those lines. And then goalies, let's just check how goaltending is. Halak's got a 3 goals against average. That's very, very bad. And an 899 save percentage. So I don't know what to do. Maybe if we change our defensive core up, it'll help out Halak. Maybe it's not Halak's fault. Maybe it's the defensive core's fault. How's our rookie Ryan Pulock doing? He's only got 1 assist, so, but he's a +1, so at least he's not negative. So. But he'll probably grow for next season and be a better defenseman coming in. Let's just check also the AHL. We haven't checked the AHL for points yet. Dal Coley and Hosang 19 and 18 points apiece, and then everybody else I don't think matters that much. Yep. And then goalies. Let's check how our goaltending is doing. So Gibson, not very good, and Soderstrom's playing decent, 2.18 goals against average. And a 919 save percentage, so he's playing better, it looks like, than Gibson. So if we want to edit our AHL lines, we could put Soderstrom as the starting goalie and Gibson as the backup. So that's AHL. Let's just quickly check if there's been any more trades around the league, and then we'll also just look at progress reports, and then that's it for this episode, guys. So player pick and trading, yeah, there's been some trades. Acquired a second round pick from Chicago and Dalton Thrower from Montreal in exchange for Radim Verbata. So Radim Verbata has gone to Montreal. Vancouver acquired a first round pick in Eunice Leiden for Daniel Sedin. So Daniel Sedin's off to the Predators. And Jaromir Jagr's also off to Montreal in exchange for a second round pick, Addison and Lernoux. So there's those trades. And then free agency, Dennis Seidenberg decided to sign with the Buffalo Sabres. So hopefully that doesn't come to bite us in the ass, considering they're also in Eastern Conference. So if we play Buffalo in the playoffs and watch Seidenberg get an overtime winner, that wouldn't be fun. Yeah, let's just quickly check progress reports, see if there's any youngsters growing. Hopefully Dal Cole and Hosang are growing. So in the NHL, Ryan Pulock and Shane Prince seem to be growing a bit by 2 and 1, so not very much though. And in the minors, Quenneville's grown up to a 60. Barzal's gone up to a 69, so Barzal's going to be playing in the AHL next year probably. Or if he's even better, he could be playing on our NHL team. Let's see, Dal Coley's gone up by 5, so Dal Coley's up to a 74, and Hosang's a 71, so that's nice. And yeah, nobody else really. How about goaltending? Growth in goaltending. So that's gonna do it, guys, for this episode. So thank you for sticking around for 36 minutes, or well, 37 minutes. And yeah, we'll see you guys with another episode.